Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a sword. First things first, you guys want to need to grab a model. And for you guys, I actually made a model for you guys containing the sword and the animations, which you can save to Roblox to add the animations for the sword. In case you guys want to use your own sword, make sure it's not made out of mesh, make sure it's out of parts the way this one is. That's an example of that. This is a perfect example of a mesh sword. It takes the form of an object, and then remove it. It's basically what the sword is. And if you guys play fencing or sword fight tournament, what exploders would do sometimes, or do always, depending, is they will extend that hitbox, giving them that reach. In which case they could hit you from so far away, even though you're not even near them. A good example of one made out of parts would be this one. In case you guys have one made out of parts, you could have the model, add tool by clicking the plus sign on the workspace, and then go back to the model and just copy the parts. You don't need to copy the scripts or anything. Copy and then paste it into the tool. You guys can name the tool whatever you call it. Katana, for the sake of what this weapon is exactly what it is. And then delete that model. But mine, I already added the tool and it has the parts with it. So first things first. Oh, by the way, I also added description below the link to get my model, the sword package. It's free. Guys don't need Robux to get it, and everyone likes free things. Going back to the game, and I also made instruction for you guys in case you need help or extra help. So you guys want to put the sword on the ground. Have to be exactly on the ground, at least it's like a little bit above to be accurate. And you guys want to add a part and name it the size of the handle of the model. In case you guys are wondering like why is it going by studs, it's not like precise. You guys could go, if you guys from home, you go to model and then you decrease the amount of studs you want. I made it very low so I can make it more precise. It doesn't have to be exactly this size as long as it's in the middle. And once that's done, you name it handle. Make sure that this is the only part that's named handle in the tool. Otherwise, the script would be confused which handle is talking about. So in case if another one's named handle, just name it part. And then transparency 1, unclick cast shadow, and unclick can collide. And the second thing is going to be the blade. You're guys going to make the size of the blade. Make sure it's not too skinny. And this is basically the hitbox is, so you guys can have accurate hitbox. And you want to extend it a little bit on the handle in case someone is very close and they're not getting hit. They'll get hit. And then name it blade. And then transparency 1, cast shadow off, and collide it off. Then once that's done, you guys can move these into the sword. Once that's done, we're going to be adding scripts so the animations can work. For you guys, if you guys get the model, I already added the animations which you can use. Alright, for the second part of the tutorial, we're going to be adding animations to script so you guys can see the sword slashing and idle animations and attacking as well. First, we're going to be focusing on the attack animations. If you guys already got my model, I already added them for you. I already have saved these to Roblox, but I'm going to be teaching how to do them. So, if you open the animations tab, you have a list of animations where you can save to Roblox. But we're going to be focusing on the attack animations. So anyone with idle animations are the idle animations. So first, right click, save to Roblox, a title, you guys could put attack 1, attack 2 to make everything easy. Description, you could just leave it empty, and then you just click submit. Once that's fully submitted, you guys can close. You don't need to copy the ID for now, and then we'll save that for later. Now, once you have copied the animations, you want to go to the tool plus sign and add a script. I'm not going to be bothered writing for 5 minutes straight, so what I did was I made a paste minute account and I added my scripts there. First, we're going to be focusing on the sword script. This saves so much time and effort for me and you guys. So as we go back, just paste the thing, and then bam. I'm going to be deleting these animations IDs so I can guys teach you how to make them or add them in. So if you go back, you want to go to create or develop. Under my creations, you go to animations and then list all the animations you guys saved to Roblox. And now we're doing attack animations. So I'm gonna do 3. So you open them in a new tab and you copy this ID right here. Just the numbers, not the whole thing. And if you go back, you want to add quotation marks, paste, and if you want to add more animations, that's when you add a semicolon, quotation marks, and you go back, copy, then add the thing. And then finally, the last one. Very simple, just adding quotation marks and semicolons. Once that's done, you guys can delete all these attack animations tab and be done with it. So as we go back to Roblox Studios, there's something I need to tell you. In case you guys want to make the damage different, you see how this is tool.blade? This thing's named blade. I named it the size of the blade. This is what basically the hitbox is. You guys can name it to name it exactly what you want it to be. But I'm keeping a blade for the precise, and you want to keep that blade. In case you want to change the name, for example, you don't want it to be called blade, you want to be called swords, you want to change it to swords. But I'm going to leave it blade for now, makes it easier, less confusion. So now the next thing is the damage script. So type in script and make sure it's added to the script, parent to this one. So once that's parent to this one, you guys want to disable the script. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. You want to disable the script and you're going to name it damage. And if you guys go back, I made the damage script. All of these will be on the description below to make life easier for you guys. Just copy the simple script. Okay. You see these numbers here? When you guys hit a mob or an enemy, the damage it would do is between 20 and 70. It's not 20 or 70. It could be 34, 65, anything between those numbers. If you guys want to keep it just one damage, just leave it 20 between 20. It would just do 20 damage. But if you guys want to do like different amounts, you guys could just add 50 or put any numbers between 20 to 50. Make sure it has a comma. It's not a dash, it's a comma. Now moving on to the next step. So for step 3, we're going to be adding idle animations. But first, I forgot to name this script. I'm going to name it sword. Make sure you have the damage script, which is disabled. And then we're going to be adding another script to the tool, and it's going to be a local script. Make sure it's local script and not just script. Once you add the local script, you guys are going to be adding 2 animations to it, like the plus sign and typing animation. And you guys are going to name one of them idle, idle, and then idle 2. I have already made a script for you guys for the idle, which you guys can see. Just copy this and then go back to Roblox. Then paste. In case you guys wondering, the idle animation is basically the equip animation, and the idle 2 animation is basically the idle animation, which it plays. In case you guys get confused by the name, you can always change it to whatever you want. For example, idle animations. I'm going to name it equip to make it easier for you. Then name the idle animation just idle. All you have to do is name this one equip. Oops. You just want to do it for the dot scripts. All these other ones are fine. Name it idle. Once that's done, we're going to be adding the animation IDs into these 2 animations. First, we're going to start with the simple one, the idle animations. If we go back into your animations tab, you guys want to add one. Copy this. Once that's done, you guys can exit out. You guys can go back and copy the animations ID right here. For the equip animations, you can leave it blank if you don't want any, but I like to have one since it makes it looks better. I made it like a simple attack animation to make it look like it's unsheathing the blade. Well, you don't really, but I'm gonna do it for the sake of the video. Just make it a simple slash. Copy. And then you want to go back and add the animation ID. Once that's done, we're going to be testing the sword, guys, and I hope you be surprised on what you guys see. In order for that to happen, you guys want to drag the sword, put it into the starter pack, and then click play. Ooh, taking a long time to load. One thing I forgot to add the whale script. Most important to make sure that the sword is on your hand. But for that, I'm going to go back, and then the qPerfectionWeld. This is free. It's just located on the free models, but this guy's verified, and it makes everything easy. The link will be below in the description. Make sure you get it. Once you get it, you guys want to go back. Under the toolbox, you want to go to My Inventory, go to Models, find it. The qPerfectionWeld. Once that's done, you just simply click on it and just drag it into the sword. Oops, I missed. Then bam. And then finally, you guys can drag it back to the starter pack, and then we can test it out. And you see, the sword is on your hand. You see, that was the equip animations you guys saw. The attack animations. Sometimes it might play the same thing twice because it's random, it doesn't play in order. Later, I'm going to see if I can find out how to play them in order. Right now, I do not know. Now I'm going to be adding a dummy so you guys can see the damage. I'm going to add this one specifically because it explodes. And I'm going to add a spawn point, which you guys can go to model, click spawn, a spawn here. As we go back in, let's test it. Guys want to click. Oops. Oh no, it's just taking time for it to work. I was just wondering. Or maybe the blade part's too skinny and doesn't recognize, but it works. See how I place the idle animations? And if you guys want to change the damage, you simply go to sword, click on damage, and if you want to make a low amount, just put it 20 to 25. And let's see. This makes the sword balance. And you see how the sword is touching, but it's not doing any damage? That's how it's supposed to be. That's how the sword's supposed to be. I'm going to show you, I'm going to compare the sword to a different sword. The most generic one. So I type in sword. Add this to the starter pack. And we're going to be comparing these two and what they don't have. So, as we go to this sword, you don't even have to click to do damage. It does it automatically. And it's very broken. This one, you have to click to do damage. Sometimes it doesn't recognize because I think my blade is too skinny. You could just make it a little bit thicker. Or just maybe it takes time for it to work. And bam. And that's how you make a fantastic sword. I hope this tutorial made it easier for you compared to my other video. You guys were having like problems. Hope this one was very easy for you. You guys could see what I'm doing. And hope you guys have a nice day. Take care, everyone.